This citizenship ceremony is now in session. La cérémonie de citoyenneté est maintenant commencée. Welcome everyone. My name is Cesare Dagamba and I am the clerk of today's ceremony. Bonjour à tous. Mon nom est Cesare Dagamba et je suis la greffière de la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui. Today's special ceremony, held to mark the Citizenship Week, will be presided by Citizenship Judge Marie Sénécal Tremblay. La cérémonie d'aujourd'hui, organisée pour célébrer la semaine de la citoyenneté, sera présidée par le juge de citoyenneté Marie Sénécal Tremblay. We are pleased to have special guests here today. Nous avons le plaisir d'avoir ici parmi nous des invités spéciaux. The Honorable Marco Mendicino, Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, ministre de l'Immigration, des Réfugiés et de la Citoyenneté. Grandmother, Grand-mère Kim Whitley, a traditional Anishinaabe grandmother, une grand-mère traditionnelle Anishinaabe. Colonel Chris Hadfield, astronaut, first Canadian commander of the International Space Station. Colonel Chris Hadfield, astronaute, premier commandant canadien de la Station spatiale internationale. Salima Dalla, Director of Program Delivery, Institute for Canadian Citizenship, directrice de l'exécution des programmes, Institut pour la citoyenneté canadienne. Alexandra Hayes, Director General, Directrice générale, Domestic Network, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, Réseau national, Immigration, Réfugiés et Citoyenneté Canada. Gurdeep Pandor, who will be performing the Bhangra dance. Il exécutera la danse Bhangra. Rinnie Smith, who will be performing the national anthem. Elle chantera l'hymne national. We are pleased to have families and friends viewing the ceremony from various parts of the world, including Costa Rica, France, the Philippines, Turkey, Zimbabwe, and across Canada. Il nous fait plaisir de savoir que plusieurs familles et amis visionnent la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui à partir des 4 coins du pays, y compris Costa Rica, à partir des 4 coins du monde, y compris Costa Rica, France, les Philippines, Turquie, Zimbabwe et d'un peu partout au Canada. Citizenship Judge Marie Sénécal Tremblay. In accordance with the provision of the Citizenship Act, it is my privilege to present to you 32 candidates for citizenship from 16 countries who have met all the requirements of the Citizenship Act and are now ready to take the oath of citizenship, the final legal requirement to become a Canadian citizen. Juge de citoyenneté Marie Sénécal Tremblay. Conformément aux dispositions de la loi sur la citoyenneté, j'ai le privilège de vous présenter 32 demandeurs de citoyenneté provenant de 16 pays qui ont répondu à toutes les exigences de la loi sur la citoyenneté et qui sont maintenant prêts à prononcer le serment de citoyenneté, la dernière exigence juridique pour devenir citoyen canadien. I now invite you to give your remarks. Je vous invite maintenant à donner votre allocution.
Unmute.
Oh, goodness. Thank you very much. I think that was the minister or the colonel. I'm not sure. After a year and hundreds of ceremonies, you would think I would have mastered the unmute button, but I was so focused on my speech. It's such a special day. Good morning to each and every one of you. Merci beaucoup, Madame la Greffière. Thank you, Madame Clerk. Bonjour and Anine Bojo. To you, Minister Mendicino, Grandmother Kim, Colonel Hadfield, Mr. Pander, Miss Smith, Madame Clerk, and you, Mesdames et Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. It is a delight to wish you the warmest welcome to all of you here today. C'est un grand plaisir de vous souhaiter une très chaleureuse bienvenue à vous tous ici aujourd'hui. You are about to become Canadian citizens on the very first day of our National Citizenship Week, where this year we are highlighting our collective responsibility to help others in our communities. And this has never been more important than in the last year of this incredibly challenging global pandemic. And today we're doing it in a ceremony that is beyond special. It is fair to say it is truly out of this world. J'ai un plaisir énorme de pouvoir vous souhaiter la bienvenue très chaleureusement à cette journée tant attendue par vous tous qui allez sous peu devenir citoyens du Canada dans cette cérémonie extraordinairement spéciale qui est le lancement de la Semaine de la citoyenneté et dans laquelle cette année nous soulignons notre responsabilité collective d'apporter notre aide aux membres qui en ont besoin dans nos communautés. Ceci n'a jamais été autant important que durant cette année tellement difficile de cette pandémie globale dans laquelle nous sommes encore tous. Before going any further, it is important to acknowledge that this citizenship ceremony is taking place from where I am situated in Montreal in the province of Quebec on the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat, the Anishinaabe, and the Mohawk peoples of Kanesitake and Kagnawake. They were all living here in their home long before the arrival of any immigrants to this land. Il est important de souligner que cette cérémonie de citoyenneté a lieu sur le territoire traditionnel où je suis située à Montréal, au Québec, des peuples Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, ainsi que Mohawk de Kanesitake et Kagnawake. Tous vivaient ici chez eux pendant bien longtemps et bien avant l'arrivée d'aucun immigrant sur cette terre. And to open our ceremony today, I am honored to introduce Grandmother Kim Wheatley, an Ojibwe Anishinaabe grandmother from the Shawanaga First Nation Reserve in Ontario. Over 3 decades, she has shared her wisdom in public presentations through drumming, singing, storytelling, and ancestral knowledge sharing. Pour ouvrir notre cérémonie si spéciale aujourd'hui, j'ai le grand honneur de vous présenter Grand-mère Kim, qui est une grand-mère Ojibwe, Anishinaabe, de la Première Nation Shawanaga en Ontario et qui, depuis plus de 30 ans, partage librement ses connaissances ancestrales par des présentations publiques à travers le tambour, le chant et la narration. Anine Bojo, Grandmother Kim, and thank you so much for being with us today. I now turn matters over to you with pleasure. Avec plaisir.
Oh, merci, miigwech, Judge Senegal Tremblay. I want to acknowledge the Honorable Minister Mendicini and the IRCC. This is such an exciting day. And I am going to begin in a traditional way by offering a cyber smudge. It is one of our sacred medicines to help us come together in a good way with a good heart and a good mind. You know, along with citizenship, you are also becoming a treaty partner with all of the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people across this vast country. And I encourage you to get to know what being a treaty partner is, to honor the treaties, and to get to know us. I also encourage you to develop a relationship with all of the sands, the soils, the clays, the gravels, the rocks, the stone beings, and the mountains. They are the first order of creation and the ones that teach us about strength and resilience. And we call them grandmothers and grandfathers. So on this day, I encourage you to give them greetings and thanks. I also want to acknowledge the swimmers, the crawlers, the flyers, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, those that live up in the sky world and those that live beneath the earth. Those are our elder brothers and sisters, and they sacrifice on a daily basis for our well-being. So I encourage you to get to know them and give them greetings and thanks. I also want to acknowledge the grasses, the shrubs, the trees, the bushes, the hardwoods, the softwoods, the berries, the hanging fruits, and all of the medicines. These brothers and sisters sacrifice on a daily basis to heal our bodies, provide beauty for our senses, and to fill our tummies. So it's easy to give them greetings and thanks. They are also the ones who recognize me as family. Anin bojo mejuke ndodam shkidenigan wawaskonen indigenous Shawanaga and Dunjaba, Anishinaabe Kwe, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi and Dao. I am head or leader of the Fire Flower, and I come from a small community called Shawanaga First Nations, and we are Anishinaabe. Today I am tuning in from the treaty and traditional territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island, and so I extend some greetings and thanks to them as well. You know, as we navigate this very important life-changing experience of citizenship, I want to encourage you across the country to come to our ceremonies, come to our celebrations, learn some of our languages. Anin Bojo means my spirit recognizes your spirit. And in honoring the spirit of your ancestors, my ancestors, and the ancestors of this vast land, I want to offer an honor song for each and every one of you. And I'm going to send that song up to the one who gathers up all of our prayers on a daily basis and takes them out to all of creation. So congratulations, Felicitation. My French needs a bit of work, but I'm working at it. And I wish you all the best, each and every one of you. This song will be the close of my ceremony on this day, and it's my sincere hope that you will leave this ceremony better than when you came, but I actually know that's what's going to happen. So thank you for this opportunity. And as I sing this song, if there are any words that I have missed, please add them in through your own ways of praying and languages. If there are any words that I might have said that might have caused you offense, I apologize. That's never my intention. And if there's anything else that you think should be added into these prayers, please, this is your time. The smudge has been lit. The ceremony has begun. And I encourage you to include yourself, your ancestors from wherever you come from on the earth to join me at this time. I will sing it out to the 4 cardinal directions to honor all of the nations of people on the earth. It's not as great as traveling the earth in a spaceship like Colonel Hadfield, but it's as close as we can get. This is called Magazin, or the Eagle Song. Well, hey,
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Miigwech, Grandmother Kim. And thank you so much for inspiring all of us through your words and that beautiful song to show us ways where we can all take to further the spirit of reconciliation through positive and concrete actions together. Merci de nous montrer le chemin des actions positives de réconciliation que nous pouvons tous prendre ensemble. Merci beaucoup. Miigwech. Every citizenship ceremony is a special one, each and every time for all of us who participate. And it always prompts the question, what does it really mean to be a Canadian citizen? At its simplest, one can say that being a citizen of Canada is the idea of, on one hand, rising to the challenge of taking responsibility for ourselves and those who depend on us, of course, and while on the other hand, it's about sharing, being open, and giving back of ourselves as freely as we can into the communities into which we're living our daily lives. Aujourd'hui, on peut bien se poser la question, être un citoyen, c'est quoi? Fondamentalement, on pourrait dire que c'est l'idée de prendre d'une part la pleine responsabilité pour nos vies et nos familles, et d'une autre part, de rester ouvert au partage de nous-mêmes aussi généreusement que nous le pouvons pour redonner dans les communautés dans lesquelles nous vivons nos vies quotidiennes. In fact, in Canada, every year, over 22 million Canadians volunteer in one way or another, and it's an important part of how we give back to society. Au Canada, plus du 3/4 de la population font du bénévolat informellement chaque année. Je suis certaine que vous participez déjà à cette tradition de redonner à la société. Also, today we know that behind some of the paths leading to this day, some of those journeys have been filled with great obstacles and enormous personal sacrifice, as you had to flee oppression, violence, discrimination, and even war. Nous savons que pour certains, derrière les trajets qui ont mené à ce jour, il y a eu des grands sacrifices et obstacles pour fuir l'oppression, la discrimination, la violence et même la guerre. And we take a moment to salute the patience and perseverance you have all had to show, but in some cases also the extraordinary courage you have required to arrive to this day. Nous prenons un moment pour souligner la patience et la persévérance que vous avez tous démontrées, mais aussi dans certains cas, l'énorme courage nécessaire pour arriver à ce jour. Over a century ago, Sir Wilfrid Laurier, Canada's 7th Prime Minister, said Canada is free and freedom is its nationality. Il y a plus de 100 ans, le Premier ministre Laurier a dit le Canada est libre et la liberté est sa nationalité. Actually, you'll find this memorable phrase engraved in the background of the pages of, eventually, your Canadian passport. And the freedom that Laurier spoke of comes with the rights and responsibilities that lie at the heart of Canada's democracy. Passionately defended over the years, as of today, it's going to be up to each and every one of you to protect this freedom going forward. And how? Well, you will do so by fully exercising the rights and responsibilities that you're about to acquire, including, first and foremost, your right and civic responsibility to vote in all elections, municipal, provincial, federal. Today, you also confirm your rights to freedom of expression, freedom of peaceful association, freedom of religion, freedom of movement throughout our vast country, as well as the right to equality between men and women, one of our fundamental societal values. As a citizen, you'll now be able to contribute to what will be your justice system by serving on juries and also get involved in all aspects of Canadian public political life. I encourage you to take the time to get to know more about the history of the first peoples of this land, the Inuit, the Métis, but also of the story behind what led to our official bilingual status as a nation, because it's a status that's unique in all the Americas, and make an effort, even if only a little, to learn both our official languages and, of course, much more. Cette liberté dont Laurier a parlé à partir d'aujourd'hui, ça va être à chacun d'entre vous de la protéger. Et comment? Eh bien, en exerçant pleinement les droits et les responsabilités dont vous bénéficiez comme citoyen canadien, incluant bien sûr votre droit et votre responsabilité de voter dans les élections, qu'elles soient municipales, provinciales et fédérales. Vos droits à la liberté d'expression et de religion, à la liberté d'association pacifique et de mouvement à travers notre vaste pays, ainsi que vos droits à l'égalité entre les hommes et les femmes, qui est une de nos valeurs de société fondamentales. En tant que citoyen, vous allez pouvoir vous impliquer pleinement dans la vie canadienne publique et politique et aussi contribuer à ce qui sera votre système de justice en servant sur des jurys, entre autres. En plus, je vous invite à prendre vraiment le temps d'apprendre l'histoire derrière les premières nations de ce pays, les peuples inuits et métis, et aussi l'histoire derrière notre statut de bilinguisme national officiel, qui est un statut unique dans toutes les Amériques, et de prendre le temps d'apprendre, même si ce n'est qu'un peu, nos 2 langues officielles et bien sûr, bien plus encore. Dans le fond, c'est votre engagement dans l'exercice de toutes ces valeurs qui est vraiment l'élément clé pour assurer la continuité et la bonne santé de la démocratie canadienne. As you see, it's really your active involvement by you as an engaged citizen, and indeed by all of us in all these values and principles that remains the key to ensuring the ongoing good health of Canadian democracy. And now we've arrived at the moment you've all been waiting for, and I am delighted to introduce the Honorable Marco Mendicino, Canada's Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship. Et maintenant, il me fait grand plaisir de vous présenter votre ministre de l'Immigration, des Réfugiés et de la Citoyenneté du Canada, le très honorable ministre Marco Mendicino. Minister Mendicino, je vous donne la parole avec plaisir. I now give you the floor.
Merci, Madame la Justice. Bon après-midi, tout le monde. Good afternoon. And as we begin, I would like to acknowledge that I'm joining you virtually from the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit and the Haudenosaunee. And I'd also like to begin by thanking you, Grandmother Kim, for not only honoring us with your presence, but for your wonderful song. Merci, Grand-Mère Kim, de nous faire l'honneur de votre présence. I'm very fortunate to be joining you in these proceedings today. Not only you, Judge, but also to our prospective citizens. In very short order, we'll have you be taking that oath, and I'm looking forward to that. And to all of the families and loved ones who are joining you virtually from in Canada and indeed from around the world, we say welcome. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the presence of some very special guests and special Canadians. Colonel Hadfield and Gurdeep and Rini and Salima and Alexandra, thank you as well for your participation in today's ceremony. And I also just want to take a moment to reflect, in particular, Colonel Hadfield. Like many, I'm a big fan. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. Instead, I became a lawyer and I'm now in public life. But truly, I'm looking forward to your remarks later and to hear you talk about the perspective of what it's like to view not only Canada, but the whole world from virtually another world in space. And, you know, it occurs to me that in your many hours and days in space that you brought a guitar there, and I'm a pianist, and I really enjoyed seeing you sing along up there. It allows me also to highlight Gurdeep, your contributions in bringing Bhangra to the north of all places, and how exciting it is to see you have done that, and what that tradition means, not only for your community, but indeed now for all Canadians who live in the north, and for everyone who's had a chance to enjoy your wonderful contributions on that front. And who knows, maybe one day we will see Bhangra brought into space by a Canadian. So I look forward to that moment as well. Merci à tous de vous rejoindre à nous pour cette journée spéciale. I have already said I want to welcome our soon-to-be newest citizens and your families. I also just want to come back to you, Grandmother Kim, for your words of reflection. And I would, in honor to you and to First Nations and Indigenous peoples across the land, offer you this tobacco. I know you did a virtual smudging, but this is for you. And of course, I wish we could be doing this in person, but thank you. And thank you for your words of partnership and really encouraging the newest members of our Canadian family to come to know Indigenous traditions and values and talking about partnership and walking that path towards reconciliation and just how much it means to all of us. And so thank you for that. C'est une obligation commune à tous les Canadiens que de marcher ensemble sur le chemin de la réconciliation. As Minister of Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship, this is definitely one of the most special functions that I get to exercise. Today, we celebrate the conclusion of one journey and the beginning of another. Each of these ceremonies is special to Canada, but today is your special moment. Aujourd'hui, nous célébrons à la fin d'un parcours et le début de notre. Toutes les cérémonies de citoyenneté sont spéciales pour le Canada, mais aujourd'hui, c'est votre cérémonie à vous. You're becoming citizens at a very fortuitous time. Today marks the beginning of Citizenship Week, a time to celebrate all that it means to be a citizen of this great country. And what better way to do it than to welcome you all into the family of Canadian citizenship. En tant que citoyens canadiens, nous avons tous la responsabilité d'aider les membres de notre communauté. Cette responsabilité n'a jamais été aussi importante que lors de la pandémie mondiale de COVID-19 à laquelle nous avons fait face tous ensemble durant la dernière année. We will forever be grateful to all of the frontline workers, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and all those who have worked tirelessly to help Canada throughout the pandemic. Among that group, many were not even born in Canada, but they have nevertheless demonstrated what it means to be Canadian. Bien que nous soyons loin d'être parfaits, nous, les Canadiennes, sommes profondément attachés à l'égalité, à l'inclusion et au respect de nos différences, qu'il s'agisse de nos origines ethniques, de nos identités et expressions de genre ou de nos croyances. Aujourd'hui, c'est aussi la journée internationale contre l'homophobie, la transphobie et la biphobie. Today is the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia and Biphobia. Nous rendons hommage au courage et à la résilience de les militants LGBTQ2 d'hier et aujourd'hui ont lutté pour l'équité à la fin de la discrimination fondée sur l'orientation sexuelle, l'identité de genre et de l'expression de genre. We honor their sacrifices. We honor the sacrifices of so many others and communities who have seen us make great progress that is not yet done. And today, you as Canadian citizens will now have the responsibility and the opportunity to contribute to that social fabric. You're building a new life in a new land. You're enriching those around you, and you are enriching us as a country. I invite you to join our work to make Canada a more inclusive and equitable society. As citizens, you have the power to affect change in your communities and your country. De plus, comme le veut une vieille tradition canadienne, vous pourrez maintenant accueillir la prochaine génération de nouveaux Canadiens. C'est l'essence même du Canada. Votre histoire, c'est notre histoire. Votre succès, c'est notre succès. And now, in keeping with a time-honored tradition, you will become the next generation of Canadians. And as a son of an immigrant family, I feel this on a very personal level. This is what Canada is about. Your story is our story. Your success is our success. You arrived here as immigrants. You are now Canadians. Welcome home. Vous êtes arrivés comme immigrants. Vous êtes maintenant Canadiens. Bienvenue à la maison. Congratulations, fellow citizens. Félicitations, mes chers concitoyens.
We will now proceed with the oath of citizenship. All candidates who are 14 years of age and older are required to take the oath. If there is any doubt that you have taken the oath, you will not obtain your citizenship certificate. Nous allons maintenant procéder au serment de citoyenneté. Tous les candidats de 14 ans et plus sont tenus de répéter le serment. S'il y a un doute quant au fait que vous avez répété le serment, vous ne recevrez pas votre certificat de citoyenneté. Children under 14 years of age do not have to repeat the oath, but can if they wish. Les enfants qui ont moins de 14 ans ne doivent pas répéter le serment, mais peuvent le faire s'ils le désirent. It is necessary to repeat the oath in English or French, or both, after the minister. You are encouraged to repeat it in both languages as a symbolic gesture of your commitment to respecting Canada's two official languages. Il est nécessaire que vous répétiez le serment en français ou en anglais, ou dans les deux langues après le ministre. Nous vous encourageons à le faire dans les deux langues. Ce geste symbolisera votre engagement à respecter les deux langues officielles du Canada. Minister Mendicino will start by saying, I swear, but you have the choice of saying either I swear or I affirm. Ministre Mendicino commencera par dire je jure, mais vous avez le choix de dire je jure ou j'affirme solennellement. Please turn on your microphones and wait for the minister to repeat the oath one sentence at a time. Veuillez maintenant tous ouvrir vos micros et attendez le ministre pour répéter le serment une phrase à la fois. Would you please raise your right hand? If you choose to swear the oath on a holy book, please place it in your left hand. Veuillez lever la main droite et si vous choisissez de prêter serment sur un livre saint, veuillez le placer dans votre main gauche. We invite anyone watching this ceremony to also raise their right hand and repeat the oath if you wish. It is a demonstration of your commitment to Canada, but it will not make you Canadian if you are not one already. Nous invitons tous ceux qui visionnent cette cérémonie à lever la main droite et répéter le serment si vous le désirez. Ce geste démontrera votre engagement au Canada, mais ne fera pas de vous des Canadiens si vous n'en êtes pas un déjà. Minister Mendicino, the candidates for citizenship are ready to repeat the oath of citizenship. Ministre Mendicino, les candidats à la citoyenneté sont prêts à répéter le serment de citoyenneté.
Merci, Madame la Greffier, and I can see that everybody is ready and smiling and excited. And I'll just say at the outset that if my daughter crashes into my office again during this, I will ask her to say the citizenship oath along with us. So now, having all gotten ready and done your homework, repeat after me. I swear
I swear
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty,
to Her Majesty,
Queen Elizabeth II,
Queen
Elizabeth
II,
Queen of Canada,
Queen of Canada,
her heirs and successors,
her heirs and successors,
and that I will faithfully observe
and that I will faithfully observe
Sir.
the laws of Canada
the laws of Canada
and fulfill my duties
and fulfill my duties
as a Canadian citizen.
as a Canadian citizen.
Et maintenant en français, please repeat after me in French. Je jure
Je jure
que je serai fidèle
que
je serai
fidèle
et porterai
et porterai
sincère allégeance
sincère allégeance
à Sa Majesté,
à Sa Majesté,
Majesté,
la Reine Elizabeth II,
la Reine Elisabeth II,
Reine du Canada,
Reine
du Canada,
à ses héritiers et successeurs,
à ses héritiers et successeurs,
que j'observerai
que j'observerai
fidèlement
fidèlement
les lois du Canada
Les lois du Canada.
et que je remplirai
et que je remplirai
loyalement
loyalement
mes obligations
mes obligations
de citoyenne canadienne.
de citoyen canadien.
Félicitations. Welcome home. Congratulations. Bienvenue.
Congratulations, félicitations. You are now Canadian citizens, and what a better way to do that than with Minister Mendicino.
Awesome.
Quelle belle façon de devenir citoyen avec ce beau serment tellement bien fait par votre ministre de l'Immigration, des Réfugiés et de Citoyenneté Canada. Vous êtes maintenant citoyen canadien. Et maintenant, Madame la greffière, c'est à vous. And now, Madame Clerk, it's over to you.
Thank you. And now, a few words from our Prime Minister. Et maintenant, quelques mots de notre Premier ministre.
Thank you for choosing Canada. We're so glad you're a part of our country, what it is today and what it will be tomorrow as we build it together. Congratulations, Canadians, and welcome home. Merci d'avoir choisi le Canada. Nous sommes très heureux que vous fassiez partie de notre pays, de ce qu'il est aujourd'hui et de ce qu'il sera demain, alors que nous le bâtissons ensemble. Félicitations à vous, Canadiens, et bienvenue chez vous.
And now, after those wonderful words of welcome and that beautiful welcome home video at the beginning of this ceremony, I have the honor, the privilege, the delight to introduce our special guest. As you can see, he has a big fan club. He has been referred to as the most famous astronaut since Neil Armstrong. Colonel Chris Hadfield has been recognized worldwide for making outer space accessible to millions and for infusing a renewed sense of wonder into our collective consciousness that hasn't been felt since humanity first walked on the moon. He is the very first Canadian to walk in space, and besides being an amazing astronaut, an engineer, a test pilot, a professor at the University of Windsor, he is fluently trilingual in English, French, and Russian, as well as an accomplished singer and space guitarist. C'est un grand plaisir et vraiment un privilège pour moi de pouvoir vous présenter notre prochain invité très spécial. Connu comme le plus fameux astronaute depuis Neil Armstrong, Colonel Chris Hadfield a été acclamé mondialement pour avoir rendu l'espace cosmique beaucoup plus accessible à des millions autour de notre planète, ainsi que d'avoir insufflé un sentiment d'émerveillement renouvelé dans notre conscience collective qu'on n'avait pas ressenti depuis que l'humanité avait marché pour la première fois sur la Lune. Il est le premier Canadien à avoir marché dans l'espace, mais non seulement est-il astronaute, il est également ingénieur, pilote d'essai, professeur à l'Université de Windsor, trilingue en anglais, français et russe, et bien sûr un guitariste et chanteur de l'espace accompli. Colonel Hadfield, I'm handing the controls over to you. Je vous donne les commandes, Colonel Hadfield. Merci d'être là. Thank you so much for being here today.
Donc, merci, Madame le juge Sénécal Tremblay. C'était absolument un honneur d'être ici avec tous. Mais spécifiquement, bienvenue et félicitations pour votre citoyenneté nouvellement acquise en tant que Canadien, Canadienne. Vous saviez que vous suivez maintenant l'esprit et peut-être les traces aussi de millions de personnes qui sont arrivées sur ces côtés canadiens. les premières traces de nos premiers peuples, il y a, qui sait, peut-être 8000 des années déjà, après que l'ère glaciaire qui soit retraite de la Terre. Imaginez ce qu'ils ont vu pour la première fois, la vaste promesse, la capacité énorme et l'abondance sauvage. And now to think, to be able to look at our country right from the very most northern tip, the little community that is the northernmost permanently inhabited community in the world, in Alert, just 800 kilometers from the pole, right to the southernmost tip of Canada, which is, it's an island in Lake Erie, Middle Island, which is at the same latitude as Sardinia and Istanbul and Beijing and Northern California, or in the Southern Hemisphere, the same latitude as Rio Negro in Argentina or Tasmania. That span north to south, and from the west, all the way from our westernmost tip at Boundary Peak in the Yukon, 5,400 kilometers, I checked, from there to Cape Spear, right on the easternmost point in Newfoundland, where Canada and Canadians first see the sunrise every day. Ma famille est venue ici il y a 110 ans déjà. Mon arrière-grand-mère, Anne Charlton, le nom de Nana, et mon arrière-grand-père, Austin John Hadfield. And I'm named for him. My name is Chris Austin Hadfield. Mais ils sont arrivés inspirés par la promesse d'une nouvelle terre, d'un nouveau pays et de nouvelles opportunités. And when my family first came to Canada, they settled not too far from where many of you are, just in Saskatchewan at that time, in the town of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. And I have lived in Alberta also, in not too far. One of my kids was born, in fact, just up and to the right from Edmonton in the town of Cold Lake, Alberta. But what I find intriguing now, when we look at Canada, which is just having its 154th birthday here coming up shortly, I mean, my folks arrived 110 years ago. Canada is not much older than that personal experience. And yet, over 5 million new Canadians have arrived since the year 2000, just in this century alone. And if we do the count right now, 1 out of every 4 Canadians, 1/4 of all Canadians are born somewhere besides this country, people who have made a choice to come and become Canadian. And that's exactly the same as when my family first came here 110 years ago. But each has arrived. Chacun est venu dans un pays béni par la géographie et honoré par son peuple. Chacun travaille dur pour donner à chaque Canadien, Canadienne, le droit de réaliser pleinement ses rêves. And I am one of those lucky dreamers who has realized his dreams. I look through my Canadian passport, and it is full of so many little stamps. I've traveled to, I think, 100 countries. I've circled the earth on board spaceships 2,650 times. And I've lived and worked abroad in several different countries. And yet, my wife and I so eagerly returned home to the land that we love. And during those travels, I got to see Canada like no one before. Because as was mentioned by the judge in the introduction, I did Canada's first spacewalks. And if you look on the back of the $5 bill, the blue $5 bill that perhaps you have in your wallet or your purse, that's commemorating that great Canadian technological capability to be able to start to explore the rest of the universe in person. But at the end of my first spacewalk, as we were coming up across the United States, and it says my internet is unstable, but hopefully you can hear and see me okay. I was outside of the spaceship, holding on with one hand to the space shuttle. And the Canadians that were down in mission control as we crossed the coast of Canada, the southern border, and headed up over the eastern provinces, they played Notre Hymne National. They played the Canadian national anthem. And it was being sung by Roger Doucette, who for many years sang the Canadian national anthem inside the hockey arena at the time, the Forum in Montreal, in a broad, proud Canadian voice. And I find it's extra appropriate here with Edmonton and Winnipeg, I think, are kicking off the Stanley Cup playoffs here on Wednesday, and Toronto, my home team, and Montreal kicking off on Thursday. But when I was outside that ship, floating weightless in space, I could see just with my naked blue eyes the incredible vastness of this place, this country of ours. And not just the vastness in geography, but the vastness of time and of future promise. And the immense work that has been done by our forebears and what they have built and handed to each of us as Canadians. The necessity now, as the minister was saying, for each of us to take hold of that individual privilege and obligation of citizenship to make this country better. It's a responsibility to give our children a healthy and vibrant and sustainable economy and country. And I can only imagine what you, as the newest Canadians in our entire country, will see during your lifetimes. And it just makes me smile. I see some children that are on this call as well. It just makes me smile to think of the Canada that your children and your grandchildren will love and know and help to build. Donc, félicitations et absolument bienvenue à tous.
I would like to introduce Gurdeep Pandher. J'aimerais introduire Gurdeep Pandher. Gurdeep Pandher is a Yukon-based Bhangra instructor. He creates performance pieces that bring together artists from all backgrounds while promoting inclusivity and diversity. Currently, he is best known for bringing happiness, joy, and positivity during the pandemic through his online dance classes and videos. Gurdeep Pandher est un instructeur de Bhangra basé au Yukon. Ses chefs-d'œuvre rassemblent des artistes de tous horizons, tout en faisant la promotion de l'inclusion et la diversité. À l'heure actuelle, Gurdeep est surtout connu pour apporter bonheur, joie et positivité durant la pandémie à travers ses cours de danse en ligne et ses vidéos. At this time, I would like to invite Gurdeep Pandher to perform the Bhangra dance. J'aimerais inviter Gurdeep Pandher à bien vouloir présenter la danse Bhangra.
Thank you everybody for inviting me. Right now, I'm speaking from the traditional land of Kwallan First Nation and Tan Kwichan Council First Nation people. Today, I'm so honored to be here in among the company of so many dignitaries, including Colonel Chris Hadfield, Minister Marco Medicino, Grandmom, Kim, citizenship judge, and so many wonderful people. I became Canadian 10 years ago. And at that time, I did not realize that after 10 years, I will be performing for new Canadians. And when I became Canadian 10 years ago, it was a life-changing moment in my time that I decided to travel across Canada via road just to learn about Canada. And during those my travels, I ended up coming to the Yukon where I decided to stay. Okay, folks, today I'm going to perform Bhangra, which is traditional dance of Punjabi or Sikh people. This is a dance which was created by Punjabi or Sikh farmers just for joy, hope, and positivity. So for new Canadians, for your joy, hope, and positivity, and also to welcome you to this beautiful country, which we call Canada. I'm going to perform Bhangra with the youth. Okay, folks, please feel free to dance along. I'm going to play music.
ਜਿਹਦੇ ਹੇਠ ਘੋੜਾ ਮੋਢੇ ਤੇ ਤਨਾਰੀ ਨੀ, ਪੱਗ ਬੰਨਦਾ ਜੀ ਉਹਨੇ
Catch your breath.
Well, what a cornucopia of riches we've just heard and seen just now. Wow. I mean, I am blown away. Vraiment, quelle richesse nous avons eu l'opportunité d'écouter et de voir et de regarder maintenant. Colonel Hadfield, thank you for those profoundly inspirational words. Mille merci pour ces paroles profondément inspirantes, Colonel Hadfield. And Gurdeep Pandher, it's hard to know what to say. Thank you, merci. And I'm going to try in Punjabi, Dhanwad ji, for that wonderful performance. Quelle belle performance. And what an amazing display of the talents that all this incredibly rich cultural diversity that makes up this country is bringing, and that we are able to discover together as Canadians. Truly, this has been an unforgettable citizenship ceremony. Ceci fut vraiment une cérémonie complètement inoubliable. You are now an integral part of Canada's great tradition of peace and hope, of order and good government. And as of today, through your openness, you can, and I'm sure will, go forward to build, through your ability to share, bridges of trust all across our nation's incredibly rich cultural diversity, which we've just seen an amazing example of, and which you actually illustrate so very well in this ceremony. With 16 countries, for 32 new citizens, that's for every 2 people, there's a new country of origin represented in this ceremony, which just shows how incredibly rich our diversity is. And through those bridges of trust, you're going to be able to weave together a cloth, a tapestry of the very best of values coming from everywhere that over time will acquire and turn into something also uniquely Canadian. There is so much to do, so much to improve in Canada. So we invite you all to go forward with confidence that whatever you do, doing it guided by the universal and yet very Canadian values of respect, tolerance, of kindness and honor, you will, without a shadow of a doubt, be building a better and more inclusive country. Aujourd'hui, vous faites dorénavant partie à part entière du Canada fondé sur les idéaux de paix, de l'espoir, de l'ordre et du bon gouvernement. Et maintenant, avec votre ouverture au partage, vous allez pouvoir construire des ponts de confiance à travers l'énorme et notre belle diversité culturelle qui nous compose et que vous représentez si bien aujourd'hui avec 16 pays dans une salle de 32 nouveaux citoyens. Et vous allez réussir à créer un tissu de toutes ces meilleures valeurs qui, avec le temps, adoptent des couleurs uniquement canadiennes. Il reste tellement à faire et à améliorer au Canada. Sachez qu'en faisant vos contributions guidées par les valeurs sociétales qui sont autant canadiennes qu'universelles, celles du respect, de la tolérance, de la bonté et de l'honneur, vous allez sans doute contribuer à la croissance d'un pays meilleur et plus inclusif qu'il est aujourd'hui. There are no limits to your potential contributions, and so, in keeping, if I may, with today's theme, aim for the moon and you'll reach the stars. Sachez qu'il n'y a pas de limite à vos contributions potentielles, alors ne vous gênez pas de viser la lune pour atteindre les étoiles. Félicitations and congratulations again to all and each and every one of you as new citizens of Canada. Bienvenue à nos tout nouveaux citoyens du Canada. Bravo, félicitations encore.
To the new Canadians, today you will be singing "O Canada" for the very first time as a Canadian citizen. This is now your national anthem. Sing it with pride. Aux nouveaux Canadiens aujourd'hui, vous chanterez le Haut Canada pour la toute première fois en tant que citoyen canadien. Cet hymne national est maintenant le vôtre. Chantez-le avec fierté. We are pleased to have Rinnie Smith perform the bilingual national anthem. Nous sommes heureux d'avoir Rinnie Smith qui chantera l'hymne national. Rennie Smith is a Nova Scotia's African-Canadian artist, singer, songwriter, musician, and producer. Rennie Smith est une artiste, chanteuse, compositrice, musicienne et productrice afro-canadienne de la Nouvelle-Écosse.
Congratulations to all the new Canadians, and I'm so happy that I get to lead you all in the singing of our national anthem for the first time as Canadian citizens. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Congratulations once again.
On behalf of IRCC, congratulations to the new Canadians and thank you to everyone who contributed to this ceremony. To our special guest, it was a delight and an honor to have you with us today. And a special thank you to the host of today's ceremony. Au nom de IRCC, félicitations aux nouveaux Canadiens et merci à tous ceux qui ont contribué à cette cérémonie. À nos invités spéciaux, ce fut un plaisir et un honneur de vous avoir parmi nous aujourd'hui. Et un remerciement spécial à l'hôte de la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui. This citizenship ceremony is now closed. Cette cérémonie de citoyenneté est maintenant terminée. We will now proceed with a group picture. Those who do not wish to participate may leave. A reminder to the new Canadians to please join the other Zoom session for a few administrative steps as soon as you leave this session. Nous allons maintenant procéder avec la prise d'une photo de groupe. Ceux et celles qui préfèrent ne pas participer peuvent quitter. Un rappel aux nouveaux Canadiens de vous joindre à l'autre session Zoom pour quelques étapes administratives dès que vous aurez quitté cette session.